Okay, we are live. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, world. We are here with you today. We are the Intertwining Arts Team. Well, we are part of it only because our team is much, much larger. We are very excited to be here with you today. And we would like to ask you, first of all, to write in the comments, where are you tuning in from? What parts of the world are today with us? I would like to introduce my collaborators today. This is Anna Prydatko, the Ukrainian artist who created the project TRANSIENCE with me. And we will talk about this project today during this stream. And we have Dilectiss Liu, our philosophy advisor and pretty much our emergency assistant of everything of intertwining arts. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
So today is August 2nd, which means that today is the 4th birthday of Intertwining Arts. And we are celebrating this very, very special day with the release of the cinematic version of the film of the project TRANSIENCE, Painting After Scriabin and Vine. This project encompasses two artistic genres. It's a crossover project. It was premiered live on stage last year on May 24th, 2019 in Lucerne, Switzerland. We were very, very lucky to get the support from Brooklyn Arts Council in order to bring this project to New York, to Brooklyn, New York. It would be our US premiere. Due to the current circumstances in the world, we were supposed to find another way to present this project because we could not, of course, perform it live in New York, which would be next month. This is why we made the decision to create this film that will be premiered on YouTube in 25 minutes, pretty much. And we are very excited about this. We would like to thank you, all our audience, without you, the art would be just a one-way road for us, for the artists. It would feel like we are creating in a closed room. And thanks to the internet, even during the quarantine, even during this complicated year, we are very lucky that we have an opportunity to share our art with all of you, with the entire world. I would like to thank the team, the entire Intertwining Arts team. We are much bigger. And everyone from the team contributed to creating the work that you will see in less than half an hour. Of course, my thanks goes to the guys who are here with me today. Thank you so much, Anna, for taking this idea over and creating this amazing project and going through the experience of being a performing artist. Well, you're a visual artist, but you're not afraid of anything, and went on stage with me and experienced a completely new aspect of the process of the art creation. Thank you, Dilectiss, for handling all the technicalities and helping me with the concept. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. I would also like to thank Anastasia Panova, who is helping us with our marketing campaigns. She's always there. She creates amazing, amazing content, and we are very lucky to have her on board. I would like to thank Denis Zhdanov, who put so many hours into filming and post-production of this film. The hours are countless. Thank you to Anton Vertipolov for creating the sound mastering. Once again, We are thanking Brooklyn Arts Council and the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs for supporting us, and despite of the circumstances, still continuing to be here for us, for the artists, and really showing that you are here while we are going through these complicated times. So we are very thrilled that the film will come out today. The link should appear in the chat right now. If it's not there yet, would you please post the link to the film so our audience has it? Yeah, thank you. Also in the description of the stream. Amazing. Yeah, so a little bit more on the project, what's going on. We have chosen maybe not a very common repertoire for one project to go together. However, we love to make experiments at Intertwining Arts, and this is, of course, what we did again. So I'm performing the 24 Preludes by Alexander Scriabin from Opus 11, while Anna is creating segments of her paintings, and she's using different colors and different depths of color shades. She will tell you more about it herself. And then I'm playing the third sonata by the Australian composer currently living. His name is Carl Vine. This sonata is a work of a larger scope, while the preludes of Scriabin are miniature works. They are very sudden. Each of them brings a different emotion. And I love how both of these works, well, the cycle and the sonata, are juxtaposed in this project, as well as I think it helps with the painting creation, because during the preludes, the painting changes suddenly, while each prelude is so different. And then during the sonata, the painting takes its shape, I think, and becomes one through composed work as well as the sonata. And we can hear different themes throughout different movements, but these themes bound the piece together. So it's very interesting to hear, for example, the material from the first movement, then to come back in the third movement and things like this. Now I would like to invite Anna to talk a little more on her work on the project. How did you structure it? What ideas you took from Scriabin's color table, sound color? Scriabin was a multidisciplinary composer, and he himself had ideas about the sound and color relations that Anna used. And what was special for you to be on stage with me and feel yourself a performing artist for a change?
First of all, thank you for everything, for arranging everything, for this amazing experience. First of all, this project seemed interesting to me due to the new experience, of course, to try to put painting under the direct subordination of the music. These are the frames in which I would not put myself at my own request, most probably. In this sense, the most interesting and challenging part for me was working with time, because this is not something typical for an artist who work with traditional media. Usually when you work on a painting, you don't really think how much time you will need to create it. Moreover, you can redo it as many times as you need until you will be happy with the result. In this case, the rigid boundaries of time and rhythm have left their mark on work, as well as on the approach to work. Well, I started with knowing more about Scriabin's ideas. I was asking myself what kind of painting would fit to his philosophy and kind of this stuff. Then I just reflected on a color separately for each prelude, describing them in simple categories of tonality, warmth, which part is light, which part is dark, cold or warm. I thought my ideas didn't always coincide with Scriabin's well-known colored circle of thieves. He used to be a synesthete, which I'm not. But nevertheless, we wanted to build on Scriabin's ideas first of all. As for the Vine, completely different music, his third sonata, it was kind of compensation for me with more freedom in action. But even in the process of preparation, I realized that it's difficult to strike a balance between precise preparation and free improvisation. I didn't want to do a certain memorized picture on stage, but leave some place for improvisation, especially because we are often trying too hard to intellectualize everything. So I would like to get a bit away from it. Therefore, I can say that I was 100% sure what I would do on the stage, which of course added a bit of stress. But overall, it was very interesting experience. I definitely enjoyed participating, and even maybe from time to time, I will even arrange for myself such challenges, adding time category or other unusual aspects into the painting process.
Wow. This sounds amazing, actually. I mean, for me, it's a revelation when I hear a visual artist talking about performances with this attitude. I'm so happy that we made it. And
well, it was a big pleasure
to work
with you.
Likewise. Likewise, it's an honor to work with you. And yes, I remember that evening very well when we were talking about this for the first time ever, and just thinking how crazy this entire concept can be, and
yeah, it was a bit surprising.
Yeah, I remember you were really puzzled, and then you said,
yeah.
Okay, let's try, and I can't believe that
I'm more
flies.
focused on figurative painting, but not really abstract. So it was also like the new area for me as well, just in the painting. So yeah, it was really interesting.
Well, I wouldn't say, looking at your works, I wouldn't say it was a new.
Well, I enjoyed
a new area for you.
Shouldn't need.
Amazing! I'm so happy. And I cannot wait for the film to come live in 15 minutes. So just a reminder for those who maybe joined recently, we are the Intertwining Arts Team. We create crossover artistic projects that we perform, first of all, live on stage. And we are releasing our third cinematic version, our third film today. In 15 minutes, the project is called TRANSIENCE, Painting After Scriabin and Vine, and it unites the 24 Scriabin preludes from Opus 11 and the third Vine piano sonata with the painting process together as one work of art. I play the piano in the project, and Anna creates a painting. We would like to hear now from Dilectiss, who is our philosophy advisor, philosophy champion, I would say. Because right now the crossover subject in the arts is very popular. So it's like a synesthetic approach on one end. On the other end, why do you think it's so popular? Why do you think it's needed? And whether it has been overused sometimes, or maybe not used enough. What are your thoughts on this project in regard to the situation, the artistic situation that happens right now in the world?
So with regards to intertwining different media, artistic media, this is just an extension of the desire to constantly expand our expressive capabilities in art, which has always been the case throughout history and even prehistory, going all the way back to Paleolithic era, right? So because we know that thoughts, questions, answers all depend on language or modes representation. And here I'm using language in a very broad sense of not just talking about natural language or formal languages, but all modes of expression, of representation. And art is such a media. And in order, we know from certain examples, such as certain paradoxes from ancient Greece, that they were solved later when mathematicians developed certain tools, such as calculus. Those questions, old questions, became suddenly dissolved or solvable. But before then, it was just very mysterious. So we know that with a more expressive language, we're able to represent and therefore find solutions to certain old problems. And just before I go on, I want to just mention a few technical things. So I've got messages so some people cannot comment. I think you must log in before you can comment. And second, Dennis mentioned that the link does not show up in the chat. So I think YouTube does not allow for display of links. So I think for everyone, you can find the link in the About section or the description of the live stream. So we have about
yes, thank you.
13 minutes. I don't want to talk for too long. I want to allow for some time for Q&A. But I'll talk a little bit about what our project is about and how it relates to the wider scope of art and society. And today I want to focus on two things. One is multimedia, and two is how the role of art in society. So first, I want to begin by introducing the distinction which was introduced by Bertrand Russell in the early 20th century between knowledge by acquaintance and knowledge by description. So these are pretty straightforward. So by acquaintance means that you come to learn of something through your sense experience. So you encounter this apple or this red apple, and you learn what it is like to see red, or you learn what an apple is through eating an apple or seeing an apple. Whereas knowledge by description is learning about something through description, usually by natural language. So you learn that an apple is a fruit, blah, 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 in dictionary. Right, so, and I want to extend this and say that the two modes of knowledge correspond to what artists do and what scholars do. So scholars are very proficient at explicating or explicitly describing the world, and we use language to do so. And artists show the world, or they show, for example, you can read a book by Dostoevsky and he tells you a story. He shows you how humans interact, how society works, how psychology works, how love works, how death works. Whereas a philosopher will write explicitly an essay on what death is, what love is, and so on and so forth. And both modes of acquiring knowledge are essential, and they are not replaceable by one another. So, and this is where I want to introduce the distinction between know that and know how. So we learn, usually you hear of the difference between knowledge and skills, but both are actually knowledge. So you know how to play the piano, and you know about the physical world. These are two different kinds of knowledge. One is about inability. You know how to live, you know how to love, you know how to play the piano. And usually skills are better acquired through acquaintance rather than by description. No one learns how to play the piano by reading a manual on instructions on playing the piano, right? So you need a teacher to show you how to do it.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, or learning how to live, how to love. You need to read books, not instruction manuals on the 5 premises, the principles of life. Yeah, so this is something that I think philosophers have been struggling with for a long time, and I think artists have the solutions to this. And this is especially the case with something called qualia. So qualia is a term we philosophers use to describe what it is like to be in a state, this like. So we use this to refer to the introspectively accessible, phenomenal aspects of our mental lives. So what it is like to see red, what it is like to hear a C major chord. This is not something you can ever explicitly describe in language. Just like I cannot know your pain. You can tell me you're in pain, but I cannot feel it. I can never experience what you experience. And this qualia is best conveyed via art, via showing, And art is just the act of showing stuff rather than describing stuff. That's what it is. And so as we all know, Scriabin was, he was synesthetic, and he corresponded. He had this qualia in him that where he saw colors in his mind whenever he heard a certain tone. And even though we don't have this, we can reproduce the representation by showing a live painting along with his music, and even extend it. And hence why we are also doing this with Vine's music, to extend this in a journal form. And this journal form is the expanded expressivity of art, of music, in Scriabin's case. And he had this vision where he wanted to actually expand expressivity of music by doing multimedia projects. And this is his meta-artistic vision, where he wanted to describe the very act of creativity via art. And to do so, he believed that you need to combine multiple art forms, because each art form corresponded to a limited set of qualia, let's say, in this case. So sound corresponds to hearing, and colors corresponds to our visual reception. And so we hope through this project that you will come to experience something new, and not just new in the sense of anything goes or anything new, but also in a meaningful way, such that you also open up your imagination, and perhaps lead you to appreciate the value of art in our broader life as a tool, or as a fundamental, irreplaceable means to help us to live, by showing us that which cannot be expressed adequately in language.
And hopefully it will inspire you to create art yourselves. This is an ultimate goal, I think. Thank you so much, Dee, for making these points, for describing why is it so relevant in our world today to create crossover artistic projects. We are so happy to have you on board. Anna, we are so happy to have you. I am so proud that we are turning 4 years old today. If you just tuned in recently, we are the Intertwining Arts Team. We are celebrating our 4th birthday today, and we are releasing our 3rd film in just a little more than 5 minutes. We have the audience from all over the world, actually. We have people from Switzerland, we have people from Poland, from the United States, maybe more. Do we have anybody who is shy to tell us where you're from? Please comment. And if you have any questions on the project, on how we work, on the process, anything, we're just happy to hear from you. We would love to communicate to our public. Thank you so much once again for being here. Feel free to ask. I think everyone is just opening the champagne now.
So now we're officially in our Q&A session, so everyone's
feel free to ask. In the meanwhile, let's talk a little more about our history. We are official since the 2nd of August 2016. However, we started working, when was it, Dee? I believe it was October 2014, right? 2014. October or November. Yeah, I believe it was October.
Yeah.
We started brainstorming ideas for the first project that we created a year and a half after that. It was a project on Chopin that talked about his Parisian years. It's called Chopin, A Letter Through the Parisian Years. It incorporates music, photography, and theater. And Dilectiss was the first person who knew about the idea. I believe so. Yes, and then we started elaborating on the concept and preparing. It was premiered in Paris on April 1st, 2016. So that was actually our first premiere, and we registered officially as an organization later that year. But actually, we are active for almost 6 years. Oh, I didn't realize that. It's a long time, actually. Yes, then 2 years later came the second project. It was, in fact, once again on Scriabin. It was the first 5 piano sonatas by Alexander Scriabin with artistic video collages. Both films of the Chopin project and the Scriabin sonatas part 1 for now project are on YouTube as well on our Intertwining Arts channel. You're welcome to watch them as well if you have not done so yet. We are nearing the release. Please join us in this celebration. If you have a glass of something nice that you prefer, we would be very happy that you're celebrating with us. I would like to thank once again. First of all, I would like to thank the composers who are inspiring us to create the crossover project. And I hope very much that Carl Levine himself will watch this live talk and the film. I would love for the other composers to see our work as well. I don't know, that's probably impossible, but we are very happy that this music is with us and it's inspiring us to expand the boundaries of only one artistic medium, and that we are lucky to be able to unite different mediums on stage as well as in creating the cinematic versions. I think it is a real privilege. Once again, I would love to thank our audience who is watching from all over the world. I would like to thank Brooklyn Arts Council and New York City Department of Cultural Affairs for sponsoring TRANSIENCE, Painting After Scriabin and Vine, its cinematic release, in fact. I would love to thank the Intertwining Arts team, all the team members, of course, Anna and Dilectiss for being here today. And we have many more team members, and I would love to thank the team members of every single project. Please stay tuned because more announcements are coming up. We are premiering a new project in 3 weeks, actually, a little less. And right now, the film is going to go live in a few seconds. I declare TRANSIENCE, Painting After Scriabin and Vine officially closed. Enjoy the film. Happy birthday, Intertwining Arts. Thank you guys for being with me today. Happy birthday. Bye.
Happy birthday.